all I've done is I've boosted the highs by 12 dB, which is completely insane. Don't ever do that, but that's what I did. There it is. We wrote this in Red Bull Studios in London Bridge. Yeah, the actual original project, I just saw it, is called, it was called Red Bull Dilla Beat. And I think that's because this loop here, I think, is some kind of Dilla sound. I don't know. Is it I've just like super haphazardly cut that. Look at this. This is terrible. I think that might have copied over wrong, because I wouldn't have left it like that even when I was a complete amateur. It does sound pretty much the same though. But yeah, that's the loop. So yeah, that's where I cut the loop from. Ah, there you go. So it's not just the hi-hat loop. Sick. So yeah, it's a hi-hat. And it's kind of skipping along. I always felt like it was kind of going. Yeah, that was definitely cut up on the train on the way to the session. I remember doing that distinctly. And then this rattle as well is also from a Dilla pack. I remember. Just bringing that in and out. And then the rest of it is programmed drums on Ultrabeat. So yeah, nice and simple. I'm doing this all in one window. The kick is 2 layers. Got that like beefy sample down there. I think that's the same kind of kick sound as F for You. Here is the chorus drums. Really simple. Kick. We got finger snap, another snare. Another, yeah, just left and right clicks, and that single snare with a tambourine on it. I think these are pretty much all Dilla sounds, guys. I think I made this beat literally just the day after I got like a bunch of Dilla sounds. It's probably all that, and I'm still using them today. I mean, they're my favorite. So but that's a 909 hi-hat. So yeah, other than the 909, it's pretty much all chopped up Dilla. I love that stop so much. We automated a lot of muting, I think, to happen there. Yeah, you can see there that gets muted. Yeah, you just got like a noise build up there, which we're doing using the ESP, just with the noise generator up. Same with this one. Yeah, I used to make all my crashes with noise, like different forms of noise and resonance and the filters, and then you just kind of pan them and do some tremolo-y stuff with it. That's all the drums. I mean, there's nothing more to it. Yeah, this was early days. That was as much as my computer could take. I remember I had probably only these 2 cores to play with, and now I have fucking 16. So kept it simple, kept it all in one window. There's a ride type cabasa thing that comes in, isn't there? Cowbell. But yeah, so I just would have, you know, played all this in, same as usual. Nice cabasa, that. And there is a ride cymbal. Panning. From left to right. Cowbell. That's the nice. That's going to be a Korg Mini Pops. Get to know. Korg Mini Pops is a sick drum machine. It has really delicate sounds like and then that. It's a cool one. Howard loves it. That's that. I've got some processing going on it now, but I would have had none. It would have sounded like this originally. And then with it's a bit quieter because I've decided to make it quieter, but without the limiter maybe. Yeah, it's got more range before, like, but I wanted to squash it a bit. I didn't know about compression on buses back then, so I've got the API crushing it a bit. And then the tape as well. Yeah, you know, because when you're playing a DJ set, you know, or whatever show we were doing, it would always piss me off that the new songs would sound massive and loud, and then the old ones would kind of sound a bit quieter. So that's just because I did not know about compression and limiting and tape and any of these things. So that's why I've done a fresh mix. But yeah, not changing it drastically. Here is the bass line to help me lose my mind. Really simple, this. I really like this one. It is a note that we've sampled from somewhere. Not sure where that's from. Sounds to me like... yeah, I think it's something we've layered up. It looks to me like that's a note. Yeah, I can't really define between the two. But one's a sampled bass note, and then the other one is like a rim. So you see here it says rim. That's that one there, kind of. That's over the top of the bass, so it's going just to give it some attack, I guess. And then that's that. And that would have been, we probably would have made that on the Juno, just a single note with like a nice resonance, and yeah, that's it. And it's just being pitched around, you know, like a sampled bass. So I think I was struggling to get the resonance to do what I wanted it to do across the board. Like it wasn't moving, like when you were playing up here, it wasn't going meow, meow, meow. It was going like whip, whip, whip. And down here, it was going bow, bow, bow. So I thought I'll just sample the one note where it's doing what I want it to do. That's it. Basically 3 notes, but it just gels so nicely with the drums. That was always one of my favorite parts about this tune. It's so stripped back, but everything's in the right place. Moving on, here we have the chords. Definitely ESP, yes. It's the Logic, really basic Logic version of a Juno. Sawtooth waves and a bit of square wave like you can do on a Juno. You know, you can mix between the two. Well, you can't actually mix between the two in terms of volume, but you can turn them on and off. With this one, you can decide how much you want. Mate, this was like the beginning of Disclosure, honestly. This synth was essential to us back in the day. We had no money for buying any other synths, so this was free with Logic, and it's so easy to use. Sliders, knobs, done. Doesn't sound great to my ears now, but at the time, it did the job, and we made some hits with it, which is crazy. So yeah, shouts to the ESP crew. Here it is with no plugins. That's what it was sounding like. Here's the MIDI. So B flat 7 sus 4 to start, and then is that right? Yeah, then an F minor add 11 is what it kind of shifts to for the second half. And then what the hell is this? E flat 11. That's it. 2 chords, nice and simple. And so we got the cutoff being automated here throughout, you know, just cut and paste job straight all the way along, except for the middle 8, which has got slightly different. Wow, what's that? It's just all the notes. All the notes. Yeah, that's the middle 8. It's just one extra chord. It just happens. I don't know, E flat something, and then just drops back to the same again. The key to this sound, for sure, is the ring shifter. So if I put this on, some of you have seen this before. Again, stock Logic plugins, not using anything that's not free. This thing's great. Yeah, I love this thing. Just gives it movement, some stereo width as well, a bit of resonance and phase, and it's just such an interesting, sick plugin on Sawtooth synths. That really was our sound for a while. I would say ring shifter on the Sawtooth. People got to know us whilst we were doing that a lot. Don't do it so much now, but Sometimes. That's being compressed, which I'm surprised about because I didn't know what that was really. Yeah, very light anyway. Minor difference. Then we got the Pro Q. I would have added that in this year, so that's just to fix up some. That's probably to make some space for the vocals. There would have been some clashing in the vocals there, so I've decided to take out some low mids. Then we got Logic effects, Logic stereo delay, Logic reverb. Now we're getting towards the sound. That's sounding much more like Help Me Lose My Mind. There's also chorus, obviously. And then 2 compressors. They're probably just 2 separate side chains. Yeah, that was probably when I didn't really know much about side chains. I've got bus 1 will be the kick, and this is probably the snare, or it might be the vocal. It's probably the vocal actually pushing the synth just out the way. I do that sometimes when the vocal's in. If you've got a soft, sensitive lead vocal like Hannah from London Grammar, often it'll be important to make room for that, especially over a slamming bass line and a house track. So it's quite nice to send the vocal to the side chain. What we got next? Oh my God, more ESP. Can you believe it? It's beeps. So yeah, little tremolo, panning it left and right, as you just heard. And the bit crusher is what giving it a bit of character on the top. If I take that off, it's much more just kind of square wavy. Still nice, but I think that's better. Just add some silk. Yeah, could not be more simple. Bit of a boost in the EQ there, and it's sending to reverb and sending to chorus, but yeah, I mean, it's a beep. That is all of the instruments, I think. Oh no, we got the violins in the middle 8. Did these get used? Oh yeah, they do come in, yeah. God, that stop there is so bad. I would never have let that happen now. All the violins get muted. Jesus. Yeah, that's just going to be, yeah, on the Logic sampler, violins, legato 1. So that's if you go into factory settings at the bottom, you've got like orchestral strings, violins, legato. So that comes with Logic. I actually always rated those strings. I think they're good. They're perfectly good. I still use them now and again now, especially for single notes. Maybe for movement, and I don't know, to sound like a synth, they're really good. Like a stringy synth, I think they're on point. To sound like exactly like violins, I mean, you need contact or something for that, I guess, but they do the job in and amongst all this swirliness, because like Hannah's really belting it there, so by the time you mute, you know. They fill a nice spot in the mix. There you go. That is all the music. Okay, on to the vocals. We got the wonderful Hannah from London Grammar here, who's awesome. We actually wrote this song. Was it with all of them? I can't remember if Dot was there or not. I think they were all there. It's 3 of them. Hannah and 2 guys, one called Dot, and I'm really sorry, I think the other person's name escapes me. Dot Major is Bruno Major's brother. I don't know if you guys know Bruno Major. He's not really dancey electronic stuff, but he's a really good friend of Howard's especially, and I know him well. And Dot is lovely as well. So Dot from London Grammar is brother of Bruno. Yeah, there you go. Some of you know him. And so yeah, we wrote this at Red Bull Studios in London Bridge. And the reason we wrote it at Red Bull is because Red Bull Studios were free to use, as long as you didn't mind having your picture taken now and again and holding a Red Bull and being like, yeah, Red Bull's great. And so yeah, for 2 teenagers with no money, it was fucking perfect. So that was great. It's a good studio. Shouts to Brendan as well. I think Brendan was our engineer. So he would have helped us record these vocals through some nice equipment. So yeah, how I mixed them afterwards is another story. But they're good recordings. Like if I take off all the plugins, it's a beautiful recording.
Talk to me and watch me crumble. You will see me come undone.
She's so in tune. It's like you can hear it phasing almost. Like you can actually hear it like flanging and phasing because she's so good.
Faithfully, I will look over
So yeah, obviously we need compression here
You
because
will see.
that is much quieter than...
Look over.
So yeah, all I've done is I've boosted the highs by 12 dB, which is completely insane. Don't ever do that, but that's what I did. So that brings it to this.
Talk to me.
It actually sounds fine. But yeah, to be honest, like if I was gonna... I'll EQ this now, right? How I would do it now. So I would... Well, first of all, I'd use this. I would boost by like 3, right? Maybe. And then I would also put it on dynamic mode, so it de-esses a bit. Right, and instead of boosting 12, which is psychopath stuff, I would take out lows. So subtractive EQ rather than additive EQ, is that the right term? So yeah, a bit of treble boost is fine. I'd probably use gem dopamine or something now.
Talk to me.
So it needs a bass rumble for sure. You can hear the plosives on t.
Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me.
That's got to go. Yeah, now I know I would just bring this down. Instead of boosting this 12, I would just do that.
Talk to me and watch me crumble.
Yeah, and then I'd add a little gem dopamine to take care of the extra highs that we're wanting to achieve, but I'd compress it, so it's not just a straight boost.
Talk to me and watch me crumble.
So, you know, we are still boosting a lot of highs, but in a clever way. We're de-essing as we're boosting, so it's not going to go, talk to me. It's still going to feel like human, but have lots more air in there. So let's do a little comparison. So here's what it would be like nowadays.
Talk to me and watch me crumble.
As opposed to...
Talk to me.
So those T's are just going... You know, there's air there and it's cool, it's back, but I would personally now, I'd go at it in a different way. And then I'd de-ess as well. So yeah, there's a de-esser here, which is cool. I clearly added that later down the line, but yeah. Anyway, we'll stick to the old version because we're doing the old version today. All right, so that goes into this insane EQ again. Oh, all right, I think I've gained it down, right? So I'm boosting and taking away at the same time. I mean, that's just pretty flat, to be honest. There's not much happening there except more treble again. Bass rumble's finally gone in. Should have done that to begin with. Then it's compressing.
Talk to me.
See, hear those T's. It's just crazy. Talk to me.
Talk to me.
Then we're de-essing, but, you know, we wouldn't need to do that if we'd done it my way now.
Talk to me.
Because we're de-essing like 12 dB, which is crazy.
Talk to me.
So yeah, sorry, Hannah. I didn't mean to do this to you. I didn't know what I was doing. Some delay.
Talk to me.
Just quarter note delay there. Very subtly in the background. Some reverb.
Talk.
Using sax reverb on this. I actually quite like sax reverb on Space Designer. It's quite a dull, dead one. It's nice.
Talk to me and watch me crumble.
That's a good reverb for Space Designer. It's not, doesn't sound too digi. It's good. Then we've got some EQ. I've added this in this year, so I would discount that. And then sidechain and, oh yeah, like I said, so those vocals are sending to bus 12. And bus 12 is on nothing. It's just empty, and I've muted it. And the reason I've done that is because I want the vocal sound to squash the chords, and you can see that here. So here's a sidechain compressor set up. Input bus 12. So for those who understand, sidechain compression is basically where you're squashing the volume of a sound, but using the source of a different sound to do it. Usually compression, you use the sound that you're trying to make quieter. You use that to trigger the compressor itself. So if I talk like this, and then I talk like this, that change in volume is going to squash. But when you use sidechain compression, you're bringing in a signal from another source to do the squashing. Like a kick drum, for instance, can go, if you've got a synth going, meh, the kick drum will make it go, ram, 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 ram. So you get that pumping effect. Well, sometimes it's cool to use a different source to move things out of the way. And for this tune, I wanted Hannah's vocal to just, you know, squash the synth. And you can see it here.
Talk to me and watch me crumble.
So it's not really doing it there because very quiet. Might do it here though.
Faithfully.
Barely. Okay. Well, look, I guess I thought I didn't need it, but look, that's why it was there. That's why I put it there as a safety thing, in case she had like a big note. Maybe in the chorus where she goes, yoo, that would be probably triggering it, but I'll pull the ratio down for you guys so you can hear it working.
Talk to me and watch me crumble.
Obviously that's crazy amounts, but
you will see me come undone.
So, you know, Little technique there if you guys are struggling to find space for your vocals to sit in the mix. That's a good way of doing it. Nice slow release so it all kind of flows and feels natural. Because yeah, if you have a really quick release, it can sound a bit too much like radio compression. Like everything's just full all the time. There's also something else called track spacer, which is quite useful for that sort of thing. Instead of using volume, it ducks the frequencies out of what's happening, like the vocal. So yeah, that's a couple techniques for you to steal. Not steal, I mean, it's a pretty industry standard technique, to be honest. But yeah, wicked. Chorus vocal is super high falsetto. I've probably got the same settings on here for everything. I haven't got a treble boost on these, which is interesting.
You help me lose my mind.
It's a crazy note to come in on for that chorus.
You.
Yeah, I don't know. That's always like kind of, I've always thought that. Just like a crazy note to start on.
You help me lose my mind, and you bring me something I can't define.
Yeah, so there's the vocals. It's exactly the same plugins as I showed you before, guys. Same exact setup. So de-essing it, whatever. My favorite part is the middle eight. So simple. Can't remember who wrote this part, to be honest. Oh, I should mention we wrote this song, I think, with Jimmy as well, Jimmy Napes. So lyrically, melodic-wise, it would have been Howard, Jimmy, Hannah, and the boys. Me doing all the usual. Got a few harmonies here. I think Howard probably would have come up with these harmonies. So the filter slowly opens up. Let me just find that, actually. Oh, here it is, middle eight. I'm just going to disable that so you can just hear it.
Waiting, I've been waiting. I've been waiting.
Crazy. So yeah, without the lower notes, it all sounds very like secondy, fourthy, almost clashing.
Waiting.
Yeah, those notes are a tone apart, so that's pretty weird.
Waiting. I've been waiting. I've been waiting.
That's the one I love. Waiting, that's a sick note. Waiting.
I've been waiting. I've been waiting. I've been waiting.
Beautiful harms there. Pretty sure Howard would have come up with them. Yeah, pretty harmonically interesting, that whole bit, because the chord is quite crazy as well.
Waiting. I've been 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 waiting.
That's my favorite bit, because it works over both sets of chords, which I wouldn't expect, because it's so harmonically rich. There's so many notes in there. But yeah, when it drops down to that bit, that's just love.
Waiting. I've been waiting. I've been waiting. I've been waiting.
Very dope. Lots of ad-libs there from Hannah. What's these down here? Huh. Oh, yeah. That's just it's like a pre-chorus, I guess. It's like the tiniest pre-chorus of all time. What you've become. Yeah, it's just the last vocal, the last lyric of the verse. Just put through a bunch of effects. Flanger, Logic flanger is the main thing, and loads of reverb and delay. There it is without it. That looks about it, guys. I've done an extended outro on this version because I was trying to make it DJ friendly. Oh yeah, and that's the how much longer? Woo! Big old delay. Just feedback delay rolling. So yeah, you guys know this is not in the original. We just kind of take it back to the chords at that point, but yeah, this was to help me mix out. And that's it.